Matt Graves joins us here on Big Board Sports as we cruise through this Thursday morning. We got the Mayor's Cup tonight, Union and RPI, and Matt's been covering the college hockey scene, although I remember Matty Graves back in the day all over the horse racing scene, but I know you're a big hockey guy, Matt, and enjoying retirement and still sprinkling in a little bit of writing with the Times Union and all over the college hockey storylines. And Matt, let me just start with the records here. I mean, Union is 9th in the country. They're 16-5-2. RPI is 4-20-1. And on paper, this looks like a very lopsided matchup tonight. How do you see it, Matt?
Well, if you look at it on paper, and that's all we really can go by until the game is actually played. The Union is so much more prominent on paper. I mean, they have probably the best line in the country. And RPI is struggling and is one of the lowest scoring teams in the country. So, I mean, right off the bat, you're looking at offense, and you're looking at a big switch towards Union. RPI is 55th in scoring in the country, and Union is one of the top 5 teams in the country in scoring. So, you look there first, but then, you realize that this game has always stood on its own. And most of the time, we hate to use that cliche, but the statistics really don't seem to mean a lot in this game because it's much more about emotion.
Hey, Matt, I will say this, and again, on paper, it looks like Union, should win this game. But you go back to last weekend, and RPI on their ice at the Houston Fieldhouse surprised the number 2 ranked team in the country, Harvard. So they do have a pulse over there, and they are capable. And Seth Appert recruits good players. Do you think tonight you throw the records out and you give RPI a legitimate shot to win this game?
Well, they showed a little bit of life last week when they shut out Harvard when Harvard was ranked number 2 in the country. But this is only one win in the last 9 games and 2 in the last 15 or 16 games for RPI. So they've really, really struggled this year. But, whenever they play Union, it seems like, all things start all over again. They played them to a pretty good overtime loss at Union on October 29th. It was a 3-2 game where they held Union down pretty well. Now, when they played them in Troy, Union beat them 4-1. But it wasn't a blowout kind of a win. So I think that, RPI will probably give them a good game tonight.
Hey, Matt, back on Union here a little bit. And again, 9th in the country. We know what Rick Bennett did a couple of years ago. He took a team and shocked the world, really, in winning a national championship at Union College. And here they are this year with, good goaltending and a really good front line, able to put the puck in the net on a consistent basis. When you look at this Union team, what do you see? What do you like?
Well, you have to go right to the top line. You've got Mike Vecchione and Spencer Fu, who are tied for second in the country in scoring per game. Both guys are averaging 1.78 points per game, which is phenomenal. And, on that same line, you have Sebastian Vidmar, who's also scoring at a very high rate. This is, certainly one of the most prominent lines in the country. Goaltending-wise, Alex Sakharopoulos, we'll get it out. Having a decent year, a pretty good year. He's one of the keys to the game, I think, for Union. But they have some good backup players as well on this team. I mean, they have a really solid defenseman in Jeff Taylor, the kid from Clifton Park, who's got 20 points, which is almost as many points as RPI's leading scorer. RPI's leading scorer has 22 points. So you're looking at a pretty good supporting cast here for Union as well. The only flaw I've seen in Union's game so far this year is that they haven't been very good on special teams, which is really surprising for a team with their record and their performance. They're actually ranked behind RPI, well behind RPI in terms of combined special teams, which means power play and penalty kill. That kind of surprised me. If Union had its special teams together, they'd be virtually unbeatable, it looks like, on paper at least.
Matt, if RPI is going to compete and let's just say, pull off the upset, what will the Engineers have to do tonight?
Well, they'll have to shut down the front line, that's for sure. They'll have to keep them to a bare minimum. They'll have to avoid going on the penalty kill, and keep it a 5-on-5 game. Even though Union has been better at a 5-on-5 game, so has RPI basically. Their power play has been reasonably good RPIs, so I don't think that's a problem for them. But I think the 5-on-5 situation is where they want to stay. They have to get tremendous goaltending out of Chase Perry, which he's shown that at times he's able to do that. The biggest problem for RPI has been they allow too many shots per game. They're giving up 10 or 12 shots more per game to each opponent that they're playing. And when you're doing that, the odds are against you. So if they can hold down Union shots, if they can stay in the same ballpark, say 25 to 30 shots, I think they'd have a chance. And if Chase is on his game like he was against Harvard.
We're tying with Matt Graves. He's covering for the Times Union. Be covering the game tonight, Union and RPI. It's the 5th annual Mayor's Cup at the Times Union Center starting at 7 o'clock. Matt, you want to, I know you like to predict horse racing, and you're pretty good at it. How about a little prediction here on what's going on tonight? Who do you think is going to win this game?
I'm going to say I think Union wants it pretty badly this year. RPI won it last year. I think Union wants it badly. I think they want to showcase what they really have this year, and I think they're primed for this game. So I'm going to give Union a little advantage here, and I'm going to say Union 4-2.
Matt, always a pleasure having you on Big Board Sports, my man. We'll talk to you down the road. And again, thanks for a few minutes on tonight's Mayor's Cup in college hockey.
My pleasure.